All right, welcome back to Man Down Sports. As you can see from the thumbnail, we got Tracy Murray on as a guest. He's been so kind to come over here and do a little something with Man Down Sports, man. So we definitely appreciate you for coming over, man. And for the young people who don't know who this man is, let me introduce him, man. I mean, for people that watch 90s basketball, you already know who Tracy Murray is. I know who he is. A lot of people know who he is that watch 90s basketball. But for the young heads, let me just go ahead and tell y'all about this guy. All right, so he played his high school ball in California, right? He left California going to UCLA by being the all-time leading scorer in high school basketball in the whole state, right? His senior year, he averaged 44 points and 14 rebounds, right? So this is a sharp shooter that do more than shooting. He can post up, you know, he can get to the basket off the dribble, all of that stuff, man. This dude was unreal. Went to UCLA. He left UCLA. I think you was number 5 all time in scoring when you left. I don't know if you still, you top 10 now, you know, but you was number 5 when you left. I think you still number 5 in points per game with 18.3 at UCLA. UCLA Hall of Fame as well, right? All of those good things, man. Got drafted first round by the Spurs, and then you ended up in Portland, which I want to get to later because I want to ask you about Rod because you played with him in Portland and Washington.
Yeah, yep.
And Rod Strickland, a lot of people don't believe me when I say this. Rod Strickland is my GOAT, like my GOAT. Over Joe, like Rod Strickland is my dude. So I got some questions about that.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I mean, I want to get to a whole lot of things. I seen you score 50 against the Warriors. That was insane. You on a short list of people that played for the Washington Bullets, to score 50. Michael Jordan, Gilbert Arenas, Bradley Beal, just to name a few. But sharp shooting is, I'm telling you, if y'all haven't seen this man shoot the ball, like if you see people like Klay Thompson, if you see people like Dale Curry, I like to compare you to Dale Curry because both of y'all don't need a lot of lift off the floor to get y'all shot off, and it's effortless. Like it's effortless the way y'all shoot it, right? So I kind of see you more like Dale, but with a 6'7" frame, that it's a little bit different. But anyway, I done glazed you enough, man. I do want to back up though. I do want to back up to the high school stuff.
Okay.
How the hell do you average 44 points and 14 rebounds, man? How do you, for a whole season, how do you do that?
Well, I averaged 31 as a junior, and I went to Nike camp that summer between my junior and senior year, and it was probably the most selfish thing I've ever been involved in my life, right? And you know, that was the first time dealing with rankings, elite talent, you know. So I'm like, you know what? Point guards are shooting everything. I'm not getting the rock here. And then I came back. As a matter of fact, all of us from California came back after that camp, and we were quote unquote the disappointments of the Nike camp. But none of us played with anybody we knew. So it was like, okay, I'm gonna make some people pay. So, you know, back in the lab, and we had my dad sat with me, and he said, okay, if you want to be a McDonald's All-American, you know, what are your goals? What are we going to do? You know, because right now you took some steps backwards. So he said, okay, what you're going to have to do, you're going to have to average over 40. You're going to have to try to be as close to 20 rebounds as possible. You got to be dominant. You got to be California State Player of the Year. You got to be all-time leading scorer because it was within reach, and I did it in 3 years, not 4. And another thing I had to do was what did he say? Oh well, it just had to be dominant, basically. You know, it's like and get to the state championship and win it. The only thing I didn't accomplish was winning at the state championship game. We faced a team called Menlo Atherton from Northern California. They were there the year before in the state championship game and lost. They had 4 or 5 D1 guys on their team. I only had me. The closest, the only help I had was our quarterback from the football team, who was a good athlete, so he can give me some on the basketball court too. But that's all I had. So in order to win, in order to be a McDonald's All-American, in order to fulfill my goals, I almost had to be kind of superhuman. I had to do some impossible stuff to be seen because I wasn't in the city of Los Angeles. I was in the suburbs, so I had to make some things happen.
So averaging 31 your junior year wasn't enough for you to get the notoriety that you wanted?
I was barely in the top 100. I don't know how. I've been playing against and with top talent in the summer and spring all the time. So I don't know why I was ranked that low. But at the end of the day, I had to do something different or do something impossible for them to notice me.
Okay.
I don't really want to interrupt, but what you said, something you said resonated. Like you had to go get it. We're in an era now where if things not going your way, kids are changing schools and you're
running.
going, yeah. But now back in the era where you played, like it was like, now this is your home school. You're gonna have to do it here, and with no help. I mean, if it was last year, you probably would have moved and teamed up with a couple of other good high schoolers and made a state championship run. But I don't want to miss that opportunity to say that now you had to get it.
Oh yeah, you had to stay put. There wasn't very much transferring back in the day. People went to the high school and they went from freshman year all the way through senior, and everybody didn't make varsity. Some people had to go the JV route before they made the varsity team their sophomore or junior year, and they still found a way to get it out the mud. So nobody ran though. Everybody stayed put, but there's a lot of movement nowadays.
Absolutely.
Bruce, go ahead. I know you got a question for him because I got several, but I don't want to hog up all that.
So no. I'm just chuckling, Tracy, because I love the statement that you just said. Nobody ran, and I think a lot of people would say, "Oh, you're just an old school hater. You don't understand that things evolve." Not you, but I get that a lot when I talk about how things used to be and how I think, like we talked about briefly before we went live here, how sometimes adversity builds character. Now, I'm not saying there's no situation where transferring or, moving to a better situation is not ideal. However, I do think there's something to be said for, as you said, getting it out the mud, putting the work in when it's not ideal and putting yourself in a position to succeed and to go through the proverbial fire. Can you tell me a little bit about kind of what you think about the dichotomy between then and now and the two frames of mind, the attitudes, the difference?
Right. I think it's not the young men's fault or women's fault. I think it's us as parents' fault. We give them an easy way out.
Okay.
My dad never gave me an easy way out.
Right.
There was I grew up in a no excuse house.
Yes.
Like I had at 14 years old, I had a surgery that they told me I'll never play again in my left hip. My dad I was noticeably limping really bad, and he didn't allow me any excuses, even limping. And then we finally got it checked out, and he kind of felt bad, like, man, I was pushing you through this, and you shouldn't have been playing.
Right.
But at the same time, but that's where my dad come from, and we established his way of thinking. It rubbed off. So, and I've kind of passed that down to my girls right now that are playing. It's like they get no excuses.
That's
if you can play, go play. If you can't play, sit out.
That's right.
But I'm not going to allow them to be in situations and run from situations. Like our girls AAU team, our 7th and 8th grade team. Oh, they're really good. We go and seek the competition, even if we have to get on a plane and go. We've outgrown California. We've been in Virginia. We've been in Philly. We've been in Ohio, Louisville. Like we seek it, and we try to instill that in the young ladies to don't be afraid of anything. Like go get it, because the vast majority of youngsters nowadays are not getting it like that. They say they're in the gym, in the lab, but how are you in the gym, in the lab when you're recording something? Right. Like it doesn't make sense to me. It's like if there's somebody else recording you saying, yeah, my boy's in the lab, that's different, or my girl's in the lab. But you're saying you're in the lab and you're sitting there. That what part of the lab are you doing? Like there's a lot of people doing it for clicks and for show nowadays. Do you love it? Do you really want it? There are some people who are super talented out there, but do you have that extra that extra go get it in you? You know, that extra hunger. Like, are you planning to take your family out the hood, or are you in a three-car garage house and you don't have that extra hunger? Like, you know, there are like, and I'm not going to use that as an excuse because we got some NBA players, kids who are in there doing. You know, they just love the game and they're hungry and they want to do something for themselves.
Right.
All right. So after an amazing senior year, you chose to go to UCLA. What went into that decision? I mean, a school that is deep with history and legends and all. What made you say, "Hey, I'm gonna take my talents right here in the home of history, not too far away from your own home, and continue your career"?
I'm gonna give you the Cliff Notes version. It was really a process of elimination that happened naturally. If I felt like I was gonna go somewhere, put up numbers, leave early, New Mexico was my fifth choice. They had Luke Longley at the time. He was the number one center in the nation. So I felt like that made sense. He was going to draw attention. I was going to get some attention off of him by scoring. We can be a good 1-2 punch and we can both get out of it. That's what I was thinking with that one. Villanova was the fourth one. If I wanted to go to the Big East, that's Rolly Massimino had my trust. That's who I was going to go with. Louisville. Allen Houston is my cousin. His dad, Wade Houston, was the assistant.
Did not know that.
So I was really close to going there, but they shifted and went to Tennessee. Wade got the head coaching job, so Al went with him. Al was signed, sealed, delivered Louisville until that happened. So it was down to UNLV, UCLA. I grew up with Stacey Augmon in Pasadena, and I would have been on this high school team if my family didn't move. So
that would have been crazy.
Oh man. It was him, Kurt Wagner, who went to Kansas, Daryl Scott, who went to San Jose State. Now, all of these dudes are 6'7" and above. Then it would have been me. Then it would have been Wayne Womack, who went to Arizona. All of us, as I say again, 6'7" and above. We would have been loaded. But I ended up going over there. But to UNLV, UCLA. UNLV went on probation. You know,
you sure did.
That's right.
I would have been a part of that 91 championship team.
Oh,
with LJ?
Yeah. LJ, Scurry, Barry Young.
Was that all that was missing? Was a shooter?
That's all they were missing.
Yep.
That's all they were missing.
Anderson Hunt. Yep.
The running Rebels was crazy.
Oh, they were nuts. Like I was there. You know, I was pretty much there. And then Ed O'Bannon and Sean Tarver was coming right behind me, and they were California State Player of the Years in their divisions. So it's like, and that was before Ed blew out his knee. Ed O'Bannon, it was that Ed O'Bannon.
Oh, okay.
That one was legit. I mean, Ed did great things at UCLA, but he still wasn't Ed of who he used to be. Ed was a monster before he hurt his knee.
Right.
So it worked out that I ended up going to UCLA because of the probation. So everything just knocked itself off, and I ended up at UCLA.
Got you.
Okay. All right, UCLA question for you. One more, Mel. So you and Reggie ever kind of talk smack about who's the better shooter at UCLA? I know Reggie loves to talk. Yeah. He's to do it. You guys ever shoot out or whatever? I know you guys have those famous summertime runs at Paulie. I'm sure you got stories about that with Magic and all those guys.
Yeah. Reg was always like a big brother of mine. You know, when I was in 8th grade, Reggie was a counselor at the Michael Cooper, Kurt Rambis fantasy camp.
Okay.
Which was in Brentwood. So I grew up, Michael Cooper's from Pasadena. My dad used to look out for Coop when he was a kid. So we used to always I was kind of close to outside. I was outside the circle, but was pretty close to what the Lakers were doing. I kept an eye on them. Sometimes I was around, saw things. yeah. So yeah. Oh man, yeah. I mean, to be around, to touch it, see it, be around it, feel like a part of. You kind of understand what you're chasing when you're around, right? And you do have conversations, with them, and honest conversations. Like the chances of me being an NBA player was impossible. So Coop told me that. Which either you're gonna give up or you're gonna continue to push forward, and give it your best. And that's what it did. It inspired me. Some people, they took it how they took it, but so I met Reggie there, and we shot around a little bit, and I got the respect, from, excuse me, that loud noise. Reggie was like, "Oh, this little 8th grade kid can shoot," but Reggie, like, he did not miss any shots, man. And then from that point, we developed a big brother, little brother relationship.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Chris.
So, real quick, I wanted to ask. So, in your career, I feel like most, if not every player, has a moment in their career where it's just like that moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say, or what do you feel like your moment was in the NBA?
That I felt like I belonged.
No, just like like whether it was a special accomplishment or a crazy night, or just like some moment that you just like stood out to you, like that was your career. Like, what moment was that for you?
Definitely the 50-point night. Definitely the 50-point night, because I knew I was in rare air. You know what I mean? Like, there's very few people that's accomplished that in the NBA. So when I had that opportunity to start, and I knew that I was going to be out there the whole game practically. We had no George Marason, no Juwan Howard, no Chris Webber, so there's no scoring out there. You got the only people really that's putting the ball in the basket is Rod Strickland, Calvert Chaney, myself. So we, all three of us, had to be the scoring load that, for a certain amount of time until those guys came back. And and that 50-point night was special. 8 rebounds. It was 18 for 29 from the floor, 5 or 10 from three, 9 or 10 from the free throw line. It was a really good night.
You was locked in too. You was locked in, and I seen Weber in his suit and Juwan in his suit on the bench. They cheering you on, and then you get to the free throw line with 49 points. And they waiting for that 50, and you missed the front end of the free throw, Tracy, man.
What the heck, man? Hey, I guess I had a little extra juice, man, a little extra adrenaline. You know what I mean? It hit the back of the rim, so I had to touch it up on the second one.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said that night was so big for me that there was a super performance that was overshadowed that night. That was unbelievable, which was Rod Strickland's triple-double. He had 22 points, 20 assists, and 12 rebounds. So that thing that we both were doing that night was crazy. If they were paying attention to two people really, really going to work, that night was crazy.
Yeah, you had another game where you went nuts against the Bulls when you was in Toronto jersey, and you gave Scotty and Ron Harper some buckets, man. So that one was a good one too. But I'm gonna back up a little bit to you getting drafted. I mean, I don't know if everybody know you did get drafted by the Spurs, but you ended up being traded a couple of times, and then you ended up in Portland. And that Portland team was stacked. There was already, a contender. I don't even know if Rod Strickland was starting on that Portland team. Was it Terry Porter starting?
So that team was crazy, bro. So I got traded twice before I even landed on a team. I went from San Antonio to Milwaukee to Portland. It was very stressful draft night, not knowing where I'm going to be, because they're telling me during the commercials, you're not going to be in San Antonio. So I'm not knowing where I'm going to be. So I have to talk good about a team that I'm not going to even be a part of, you know. So to fast forward when they said Portland, now I saw the Portland scout at our games a lot. So it didn't surprise me that it ended up in Portland, being on the West Coast, playing at UCLA and being up in Oregon all the time. So they had a close look. But they said they needed shooting, but I'm like, you got Terry Porter, you just acquired Mario Ellie, you just acquired well, you had Clifford Robinson, who was a 6-man a year, an all-star, you know, and he was a budding superstar. So I'm like, what do you need me for? You know, there was no G League at the time to keep developing. I'm on a veteran team in which everybody is really good. That team was 10 deep. Like, the starting lineup was Terry Porter, Clyde Drexler, Jerome Kersey, Buck Williams, Kevin Duckworth. Then you come off the bench with Cliff and Rod and Mario Ellie and Mark Bryant. And me being the 10th man, I never really got in. The only time I got in is when guys got hurt. So it's like, did I learn a lot from those guys? Of course. You know, they're a team that's just walking full of knowledge on how to survive and how to be in the league and how to win. But I'm more of an on-the-job learner. I sat on the bench for 3 years and kind of, you know, started second-guessing myself. You know, did I make the right decision to leave early? You know, is this really is this the end of it? You know, because you only got 3 years to prove yourself and you're out of there. So, you know, I led the league in threes my second year because guys were hurt. So I kind of stuck my foot in the pool a little bit, and they saw a little bit of what I can do.
46%. Wow.
46% is
46.
wow.
That's knocked out.
46. And I got the minimum makes that I was supposed to get. So it wasn't like I was out there a lot and did a whole heck of a lot, but I got the minimum makes to get that. So you know, I was lucky and blessed to do that. So so that was somewhat of a notch that, okay, maybe you can do something in this league. Then the coaching change happened. They got rid of Adelman, brought in PJ Carlissimo. He just came in there like a Tasmanian devil, man. He just, you know, PJ's a college coach. So he used to come in at people like they're kids, right? So that's rubbed a lot of guys the wrong way. Yeah, and shout out to PJ, man. He's really a good dude. It's just that he's a different dude when he crossed those lines onto the court. I mean, it explained what happened with Spreewell because he'll try to call you out of your name, right? Yeah. So you know, I mean, I got kicked out of practice from him. I ain't gonna lie, it was a heated conversation. I got kicked out, but you know, just in passing after that, he's one of those guys that y'all can get into it. He confused the hell out of me one day. I got kicked out of practice. I had to meet him at the plane to go on a road trip. I'm pissed the whole time. We land, drop our bags, and we're headed out. You know, I'm headed out with my teammates, and he asked me if I wanted a drink. I'm looking at him like, you just kicked me out of practice.
Right.
You done call me an idiot, effing idiot, which I'm not taking too lightly of. And, you know, it's like, but that's his intensity on the court. I'm not going to be the guy. You know, I wasn't going to be the whipping boy, so to speak. You know, every team had one, and I didn't want to be one. You know, so but me and PJ are cool, man. That was just one little incident, but I did understand the Spreewell situation because of that. You know.
Yeah. So you ended up in the trade when Clyde went to Houston. You ended up in that trade with him, and you got a ring with the Rockets in '95.
Right.
Tell me about the dream, because that's Bruce's favorite player of all time. So mine is Rod Strickland, and I'm gonna just ask you this, because you know we got two great centers in the league now, Embiid and Joker, right? And Embiid injury, I don't know if he's ever gonna get back to that greatness, you know, with his knees. But Joker is still that dude. But this just me personally, and you don't have to comment on this part. But this just me personally. I think the way the rules are in the league now, I think that there are a couple of guys that you can grab from the 90s and put them in this, and they would look just like Joker. And I think Vlade Divac is one of those dudes. Great passer. I mean, he didn't shoot the three as good as Joker, though. I give Joker that edge. He shoots the three way better, but they both are A+ passers. They both can play on the perimeter. They both can post up, right? And they both can be pushed around if they get in there with Zoe or Shaq or somebody like or Duncan. They can get pushed around. They not like they ain't like that, right? So my thing is the people are looking at Jokic stacks now and then putting him up there with the guys like Hakeem, Shaq, David Robinson, Kareem, and I just don't think he's there, right? So can you tell me what Hakeem was like and where you got Hakeem met in the top 10?
That's why I hate comparing eras, because there are different rules in different eras. There was at one point early, they outlawed the dunk, and then now you got bully ball through the 80s and in the 90s. Then you got free running right now. It's hard to compare eras in greatness because there are different rules across the board. I'm a firm believer, if you give a player a rule, they will adjust to whatever that rule is. So it's not really on the players. It's on whoever is making the rules, right? But give Michael Jordan, give Hakeem Olajuwon, hell, give Shaq, AI. These guys rules without touching them. And tell me how much they were average. Michael was getting 35, 40 a game, and you had the two-hand hand check. You had dudes knocking him on his back when he came in there, the Detroit Pistons. It's like, take that away and tell me how much Michael Jordan would average. Tell me how much Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would average without that physicality.
Ooh,
what about Will Chamberlain? Will Chamberlain is the only player to ever have 100. Tell me what he would average without all that physicality. So it's like that's why I don't like comparing eras. You know, everybody's great, or else they wouldn't be in the NBA, right? Hakeem Olajuwon was just something special. That I never. Let's keep in mind the year I was there, David Robinson won the MVP that year.
Shout out to David Robinson.
I do.
Yeah. Hey,
that's my GOAT. That's my favorite player of all time.
Hey, I love the Admiral. Shout out to the Admiral. He won MVP that year. Dream won it the year before when they won the championship.
Right.
The Rockets wasn't doing as well that year. Everybody was still celebrating from the year before. They needed a shot in the arm. They brought Clyde in. I wasn't part of the plan, but you know, but to sit there and watch Dream absolutely destroy David Robinson like he was a high school center. It was amazing. It was amazing what I saw. It was amazing what I saw. I couldn't believe my eyes of what I was seeing. I mean, it was like just jump in the backpack. Jump in the backpack and let him just carry us home. Now, I'm not saying that Robert or Sam or Kenny or Clyde didn't do what they were supposed to do, or Mario, because everybody had a significant time where they stepped up when needed and they did what was supposed to be done. But boy, did Dream carry the load during that San Antonio season. It was almost like it was personal. I saw some shirts.
Yeah.
You know, San Antonio and Houston are not that far apart. They, you know, and Dream is Muslim. Dave Robinson's, you know, he's a man of God. So he's Christian. So there were shirts out there during the during the playoffs. It said Allah versus Jesus. It's like it was crazy. And they had both of their pictures. They were really hyping it up, even like with the street the people that are on the street making the shirts. You know, it's like it was a crazy scene, bro. But what I saw was unbelievable. I've never seen anybody do that before, ever. Like he gave everything in the bag, talking about everything in the bag that he could use, he used it.
What did he say though in the huddles during timeouts in the locker room? Like what was Hakeem's demeanor like when you knew he was about to go give it to somebody?
So Kenny Smith,
dang,
I sat at the end of the bench. So Kenny Smith was hyping him up as David Robinson was getting. Dave was getting the MVP trophy.
Yeah.
Kenny was in his ear like Dream was a prize fighter. That's your trophy, Dream. You got to go get that. Look at him. Hey, hyping him. Kenny, don't worry about this. And I don't think he said anything the rest of the series, but he went to work. His game said everything.
Mm-hmm.
That was a tough year to be a Spurs fan.
Don't worry about it. He said, "Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Always tells that story
because going into the playoffs,
unbelievable.
I just felt like that was going to be the year that Spurs won the championship, and they met that buzzsaw.
I didn't.
Listen, because I mean, you know what I'm saying. I was watching them battle. I was like, David's gonna give work. I mean, David's playing out of his mind, and then he wasn't. And, I mean, and offensively, he still had good. He still got on.
He averaged 18 that series.
But
he couldn't do any like
no.
But the crazy part about it is like, and that's the closest that I think I've ever seen him to frustrated. He still didn't even lose his cool. Like I would have got ejected if it was me. I'd have got ejected game 2. Game 2, I'm done.
Hey,
flagrant.
You know how Mike was on fire against Portland.
Yes.
And Clifford Robinson went and did this.
Yeah.
After Mike hit that 3, that's all you can really do with Dream too. It's like, what could you do? I mean, there was nothing. Absolutely. He gave you everything in the kitchen sink. Yeah. He gave you the jump hook. He gave you the fadeaway. He gave you the up and under. He gave you the dream shake. He gave you the show and go. He spun baseline and gave you the fake and came back, faked again, and went back the other way.
That's my favorite move.
Everything.
Yeah.
And then he was blocking stuff to the sideline. Just not. I mean, he was a force on defense too. It was like
average 4 blocks for the series. 35, 12, 5, and 4 for that series.
And that's enough, guys. That's enough.
Every game.
Yeah. Look, I'm serious, man. After first of all, Hakeem is the best center I've ever watched.
Facts.
From I watched his career, at least his prime, right?
Yeah.
I didn't watch Kareem's, but when I ranked them, I still rank Kareem over him because you just cannot deny 6 rings, 3 college championships, 3 high school championships, and 5 MVPs and 6 finals MVPs, and then the all-time scoring leader before LeBron broke it. You just can't. You can't put nobody above Kareem. You kind of can't put nobody above.
Tell you, let me chime in about Kareem real quick because I grew up on Kareem. Kareem was my favorite player. He was my GOAT. He was my GOAT growing up. Kareem had the most unstoppable move. You knew it was coming, but you couldn't get to it. That sky hook, you knew it was coming. You knew he was gonna fake this way and throw the hook that way, and you could not get to it. And it was just as accurate as many like sniper 3-pointers or like, you know how shooters, you talk about how I can shoot. His sky hook was just as deadly as my jump shot.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Was Kareem the one who tried to teach it to what's the center y'all had to play with Old Bannon? George Zedek? Was it Zedek?
Yeah.
Did he teach it to him?
He tried to he worked with him. He tried to teach it to Shaq, but Shaq was just so strong he didn't really have any touch. But Kareem worked with a lot of bigs, man, and you know, it's just a matter. He even tried to work with Dwight Howard. It's like Dream worked with Dwight Howard. There's a lot of people that tried to you know, they're paying it forward, you know, and I thought that he did. Kareem was just awesome, man. He was awesome to watch. He's 7'2". He can run the floor. He blocks shots. You know, because he had to run the floor with that team. That 80s Lakers team, Showtime, they got up and down the floor. If he didn't get up and down the floor with them, he wasn't going to touch the rock.
Right.
with Magic out there, everybody got to run.
That's right.
And your head better be on the swivel too, because you don't know when that ball coming.
You're gonna get hit with it. Yeah.
Hey, Magic was known for hitting you in the face with the ball if you wasn't ready.
So let me throw this out there real fast, because you awesome sharpshooter, right? Was there a defender? Because I'm a defense person. I love defense. Right. Play basketball. I was probably a better defender than I was an offensive player. Which defender during your time, where I'm not going to give you the toughest challenge, but you was like, you know what, I've really got to bring my A game today, because this defender, he's about to get on my nerves. Which defender gave you like the toughest challenge?
And this answer is you know, with all due respect to all the lockdown guys, you know, there are some people that you would think I would have problems with that I didn't have problems with, because I like moving without the ball. So I was able to get shots, or I might have had Rod Strickland, who was phenomenal at drawing the crowd and finding me. But same thing with Damon Stoudemire. I was with him in Toronto, and he was able to do the same thing. But the one person that I saw coming, I was like, holy, I got to see this dude today. I couldn't post him up because he was wiry, strong, he was long, he was 6'8". He would get around screens fast. And if I happened to get by him, I saw Alonzo Mourning. So I just chalked it up as that was one day that I'm not getting my average. And it was Keith Askins. Keith Askins from Alabama that played for the Miami Heat, long time Miami's Heat assistant coach. Keith Askins was a bear to deal with for me. Like, I didn't have that much of a problem with Scotty or Stacey Augmon or I'm talking about dudes that locked down. Him, maybe because there was the shot blocker back there too. I couldn't get to the mid range because he beat me to the spot. He was long enough to get a hand up on me with a 3-point shot. He would fight through screens, strong enough to push me off the block where I wasn't comfortable. I would have to inside pivot and try to one-on-one him. And he was even that much better as a one-on-one defender. So it was like, that dude gave me serious problems. I see him, he's a scout right now for the Miami Heat. And whenever he pop in the Paulie Pavilion when I'm broadcast, I'm like, oh man, not you again. we laugh about it to this day. But Keith Askins gave me a problem defensively. That was a great question, by the way.
Real quick, I want to ask you a question real quick, and it might get you in a little trouble, but who would you say is your favorite player or favorite teammate that you played with?
Favorite player, I would say Rod Strickland, man, because
that's my dog.
I was with Strick. Out of my 12 years, I was with Strick 6.5 years. Like, Clyde Drexler was my vet. Dream was somebody he was great to me. You know, Damon Stoudemire, me and him were like peanut butter and jelly. Like when we played up in Toronto, right? I was with Strick most of the time. And we're like brothers. We're like brothers, man. We like brothers.
He's so underrated, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I've never seen a dude. He is everybody's favorite player's favorite player. You know what I'm saying? Right. Everybody loves Kyrie. Kyrie loves Rod Strickland. Everybody loves Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway loves Rod Strickland. It's like he's every favorite guard's favorite player. You know what I mean? It's like you ask any of those guards that played back in the day, they'd be like, I hate to see Rod Strickland come.
Yeah.
So he was a monster, bro.
Is it coincidence that an elite shooter like Tracy Murray loves to pure point guards who get him to rock. David Stoddard.
Absolutely. But you know what? Those two can score too now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Not get it twisted.
Yeah. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot of point guards back then. That was, you know, I mean, of course, the pennies at 6'7" and some of them dudes. But as far as like the 6'1" point guard, like Moogie Blaylock and all them dudes, yeah, they go get the offense started. Derek Harper get the offense started. They can hit the three, you know, but it wasn't a lot of people out there that was going to go get there sometimes. Like Rod Strickland was going to go get his in that mid-range, and then that layup package was unreal.
The layup package was ridiculous. Yeah. And he can finish on, I don't care what shot blocker is under there. He is going to finish.
Absolutely.
He's going to bump them with those big shoulders, find a way to flip it this way, flip it that way, flip it this way, and it's going in. It ain't just going up on the glass. It's going in.
Absolutely.
That's just that New York City, you can't explain it type stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was my guy. Hey, but I'm still mad at Dream because Portland had Houston beating the playoffs, and Rod Strickland had a wide open layup, and Dream came out of it. Was a fast break. Do you remember the play I'm talking about? That was a fast break, and Dream, I think Dream dropped out of the Raptors and blocked the shot. I'm like, man, where the heck did Dream come from?
He did that. Dream, know that.
Dream would run the floor. He really ran the floor.
Yes,
you know, and people underestimated his feet. Well, they of course his footwork was his strength. But he played soccer, so he can move. You know, he's and you know anybody that's played against any African, they all can move. All of them can move. Hey. The Kimbe may not have been able to go lateral, but the Kimbe ran that floor straight. Everybody else will beat you laterally and straightforward.
Absolutely. I got one question before I move to your Lakers tenure, man, because I want to get into some conversation surrounding the Lakers and Kobe Bryant. But this is my last question before that, though.
Okay,
dude, what's going on in your family where everybody's shooting like that? You and Allen Houston, and hold on, is Lamar Murray your cousin as well?
That's my first cousin. That's my dad's brother's son.
Wow.
Yep. And how are you related to Allen? Allen
is a distant cousin on my dad's side.
Okay, because he when did you find that? Like, did y'all always know y'all was cousins?
I found that out during the road trip, actually. The campus visit. The campus visit before going to Louisville. We had talked a little bit, you know, and through my dad found out through a couple of cousins. They said, "Hey, you know your cousin is Wade Houston." My dad said, "What?" it was the Oklahoma family, you know, that is, you know, had that connection to, you know. So yeah, man. It was, so my brother played at Louisville and USC first in Louisville. Cameron Murray. Yeah. Marcus Murray is Lamont's little brother. He played at University of New Orleans. Lamont, of course, played with Jay Kidd at Cal and was in NBA for 13 years. Myself, Allen, speaks for itself, what he did, his dad. Then let's think back to 95 in the championship game against UCLA. There was a two guard by the name of Clint McDaniel. That's another cousin. Wow. He was the two guard for Arkansas. He can really shoot it. He had a tryout. He was in training camp with us with the Wizards. He was in training camp with us. Yeah. So, and then Torrey Miller, who played for Colorado about 8 years ago, he's another cousin that came from that Oklahoma side of the family. So we got some players, man. My wife played for Pitt. My dad was.
Is the shooting getting passed down to your daughters?
Oh, they got straps. They got straps.
Okay.
I mean, everybody.
So it's like the Curry family. They can be passed down.
Yeah, it's in the water.
Yeah, it's in the water. Everybody can shoot, but you know, it's like that. If you tell somebody to go outside and work on something, what are they gonna do? They're gonna go shoot the ball, right?
Yeah.
So if you're doing it correctly, and you have the right reps, the ball is going to continue to go in. Because my brother's daughter, Kayla, she's in the top 10 in her class right now.
Wow.
In the 2030 class.
Okay. That's
And
awesome.
my oldest daughter's 2031 class, and my youngest daughter's 2032 class. So, you know, they're paving their way too. All three of them can shoot. As I say again, that team that they have is very good, man. They stayed home this summer, played 17U, and only lost twice.
Nice.
Damn.
And they're 13, 14. My daughter just turned 13. And
that's big right there.
My youngest one doesn't play on that team yet.
Okay.
She's trying to catch up. So yeah, shooting runs in the family, man. My dad shot the rock. My uncles on my mom's side shot the rock. My mom was a great athlete, so she hooped as well. So it's hoopers in our family. It's in our blood.
It's in the bloodline.
So, got a quick question for you before.
Yeah, like the Fatus, it's the bloodline.
right. Sure.
Got a quick question for you, man. You had a few stops during your NBA career. When you look back, what do you consider yourself like as affiliated to what team? So if somebody say, "Hey, this is Tracy Murray from you would say what team?
Toronto Raptors.
Got you.
I'm an original Raptor. You know, and I was there twice. I was.
Were you there when P got there?
No, P was there before I got. P used to work out with us this summer and after UCLA runs. He used to work out with us. But P was gone before I got back. I was there at the very beginning with Damon Stoudemire. Then I came back after P left, and I played with Vince, Mo Pete, Dream, Antonio Davis, Alvin Williams, Chris Childs. We were with Keon Clark. That dude right there.
That's the squad.
Keon Clark was a monster. A lot of y'all didn't even know that. This dude was a monster.
Left-handed, right?
6'11", run like a deer, jump out the gym. Like when he played with Toronto, he was cooking. Like Lenny Wilkins knew how to use him. Nobody else knew how to use him.
One more.
Let me go, Chris.
Go ahead.
Go real quick. Hey, Tracy. So, you know, when you talk about you and you being the type of shooter that you were, I don't know if you heard recently Steph Curry's comments about the modern NBA being the most skilled ever. And my personal thought on that has always been they're not necessarily more skilled. They just traded one skill for another. And because guys are shooting more now, it makes them look more skilled when the percentages really aren't that much higher than when you played. And I look at it and I say guys like you and Glenn Rice and Steve Smith and all the Del Currys, all these other guys, you ever sit back and wonder, I know you have to, what you would be doing if you played today with the rules the way they are and the spacing and the amount of threes you're allowed to get up? Give me your thoughts on that.
So you will see guys like Glenn Rice, Del Curry, myself, Larry Bird, Jeff Hornacek, you know, guys, Dale Ellis, you know, guys that can really, really shoot the rock. Even Wesley Person shoot the rock too. So it's like when you look at guys like that, now we're a premium. We're your highest paid players now. You know, if we're in this era. Some of us might be max players depending on, you know, how much more we can do than just shoot, you know. Like so I mean I'm on board with saying Steph is the best shooter ever. I'm on board with saying that because of what he does shooting the basketball. He took it to another whole atmosphere. And you know, when I played with Dale up in Toronto, I saw Steph and Seth as kids working on their game, working on shooting. So I saw the development young, you know, with those guys. So I'm all on board with saying he's the best shooter ever because I mean to do it off the dribble like he does.
But Mahmoud
distance,
and you were around.
Mahmoud is another one.
And Mark Price. I think Mark Price is just as good a shooter as Steph, though.
Those guys just didn't have the green light that Steph
you got like Hubert Davis. Like all of these guys are premium. Allen Houston.
That's right.
So, like all of these guys are premiums because they're worth more nowadays in this NBA than that other NBA, right? As I say again, freedom of movement.
Yeah.
You're getting pushed, you're getting bumped on your shots. If you're going to get a shot off, you're going to have to find a way to create space and really get a way to get the shot off, because nowadays you can bump them a little bit, they can't touch you, or else you're going to the line. So you should be better shooters nowadays if you're not getting the physicality that we got, right? And because of analytics, it's the emphasis on shooting more. So I mean, we used to play inside out. They play outside in.
Right.
So it's a difference of styles. I wouldn't necessarily say one's better than the other, but it's just difference of styles.
Right.
Yeah, I would switch that a little bit. Y'all play inside out. They play outside. Ain't no end.
But see, analytics. So let's talk analytics for a second. And this analytics drove me crazy as a coach for the Lakers. Drove me crazy. Like, I am seeing non-shooters shoot 3-point shots. I'm like, why is he shooting 3-point shots? Because what they want us to do is to shoot 3-point shots. Don't shoot any mid-rangers, because 40% don't make sense. They said they want 30% from three, or get a layup, or get fouled and go to the free throw line. That's the plan for this analytic style of offense. So now you're taking away an area where we're known for 3-point shooting, but I ate there, Richmond ate there, Reggie Miller, DeMar DeRozan, Kobe, everybody, Rip Hamilton, we all ate, even Ray Allen. We all ate in that mid-range area, right? We were only allowed to take 3-4 3-point shots. So most of our shots was in front of that line. And so we don't understand the most open part of the area is not being used.
I don't understand it either. I'm gonna say one thing, and I'm gonna let Chris get this question off. But you look at how Steve Kerr runs his system and what he's doing in Golden State, and you got guys like Kevon Looney who get an offensive rebound right at the rim, and it's not like he has to look for Steph. Like you get what I'm saying? Like I've heard Draymond on his podcast say somebody they'll make 2 passes, the defense are rotating, and they'll come to a guy that's wide open for a shot, and he'll take it. Whether he make it or miss it, it's a bad shot. If Steph is right, it's the next pass over, and they will pull that guy to the sideline and say, I think the words what Steve Kerr said, hey, meet this guy, the best shooter ever. His name is Steph Curry. Right. He makes $50 million a year. You never not rotate that pass and not let him take that shot. But that's the thought process that a big man can't even get rebounds and go back up with it. Right. Then you got a player like Kuminga who got all sorts of skills. I think he's very similar to the Thompson twins as far as athleticism and build. And Detroit and Houston is throwing them out there. Those are old school coaches out there. Udoka and who's in Detroit now? Biggest that old school coaches got them out there young, making their mistakes, learning from it. And Kuminga can't even freaking get a contract extension. And they're telling him, you have to play like Draymond. We want you to play power forward, get rebounds, look for Steph, and that's about it. Right? Is that the right way to coach? And look, he didn't even have a spot for Jason Tatum to get on the floor in the Olympics. That's how bad Steve Kerr's philosophy is, man. You don't have to say nothing specifically about him. What the thought process of that of big man can't be big man and athletic guys can't be athletic guys.
I'm never in favor of a guy that's getting a rebound and they're throwing it back out. I'm never in favor of that. If you got a rebound, you work your ass off to get that rebound. Put that ball back up, man. You know what I mean? It's just like I'm never in favor of, if there's a guy in front of me, I'm not going to go 25 dribbles to try to do a step back three when there's a guy that's big on the block and he's got the dude on his back. Throw it down there, give him a bone, let him go to work. Let's see what he can give us. You know, I grew up on high percentage shots. Yep. You know, so I would never agree with tossing it back out to chuck up another 3-point shot. You know, And I understand, hey, Curry and Thompson, that they won championships that way. They had to have Durant to do it like that too. Draymond understood his role with them. There were key pieces, Iguodala, Livingston, the bigs that they had, setting screens and stuff. There were key pieces. It was more than just 3-point shooting that won those championships. But
it's true.
But everybody started mimicking. The NBA is a copycat league, so everybody's trying to copycat the Warriors and don't have those pieces.
How many times has that been said?
Yeah, you can't do that. Who's going to be the people that's going to be like, look, I'm just going to play my way with the pieces I have. I'm not going to mimic this team because I don't have those bullets in the gun. I don't have those right bullets.
Yeah.
So it just didn't make sense to me.
Go ahead, Chris.
All right. Last question, real quick. 5 racks, 5 basketball a rack. Today, how many are you hitting out of 25?
Great question.
I had one opportunity to be in that doggone 3-point contest, and I was one ball from advancing. Ain't that some shit? No, but your first time, you're a little excited. Like, if I was to ever get invited, I was in the top 10, 15 every year. How come I didn't get a second chance? But that's something else. But if I was to get a second chance to come back to that, I'll be a little bit more relaxed. I was in the Mecca for it was at All-Star Weekend was at New York City, in the Garden.
Right.
Me, Reggie, and Glenn Rice were out there playing Get Like Me before when we were warming up. We were all talking trash to each other, and all 3 of us end up on the bench. First round knockouts.
Right.
But if I was to get another shot, yeah, I probably, knock 3.5, 4 down per rack.
Unless you get hot and then you just start knocking
out. If I get hot,
it's
over. I felt like with that one, if I had just gotten out of the first round, then I would have been all right.
Yeah. All right, so I want to move to your
the rack is a different rhythm than catch.
Yeah,
it's a different rhythm.
Getting them down here instead of it being like right here.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to move to your Laker time. You was only there for a year, but it was the year that y'all won 50 y'all won 50 games that year. Y'all was a contender, but y'all lost to the Spurs 4-2. I think what was it, the second round maybe?
Shout out David Robinson.
So you there? So this is So this is post 3-peat. This is Shaq and Kobe 3-peat
that year.
Y'all was going for 4 straight, but y'all didn't make it back, right?
Right.
But that year, Kobe averaged 30. I think he averaged 2 more points more than Shaq. So he was the leading scorer that year. I think he was the leading scorer in the playoffs as well. That was 2002, right? And I just did a podcast last week when I was telling the listeners that I think Kobe was the best player on that Lakers team starting from 2002, and I think he was the best player in the league from 2002 to about 2012 when he tore his Achilles, or 2013 when he tore his Achilles, right? But that's my opinion. But you were in that locker room and you was in those practices. What were you seeing from Shaq and Kobe from your perspective, and what was the feel around the locker room as far as like who was what? Like, did y'all think y'all had 2 number ones? Did y'all think y'all had a number 1 and the number 2, or 1A and 1B? Like, how did y'all view those two guys?
Well, when I came in that year, they had already won 3, so I wasn't trying to rock no boats. I was just trying to play my position, right? So when you see the struggle of power going on, and Shaq was a monster at that point, and he just, they just won 3. He was in his prime, but that year Shaq got that toe surgery late. So now Kobe started establishing that it was his team from the beginning when Shaq was out. And by the time Shaq got back in shape and ready to go, Kobe had already established that, I'm not yielding no more. It's like I'm gonna go, because that was the year that when Shaq was out, Rick was suspended from the fight. Devin George was hurt. And I had came in that year from an arthroscopic hip surgery, so I wasn't really full, ready to go either. He had those 10 40-point games in a row, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he established, this is what I'm going to do. And when big fella get back, we'll figure that out. But he was going to be ultra aggressive for the rest of that year.
Yeah,
and
that year, just to remind
people, the dynamic was different when Shaq came back, so it was a little bit of, trying to figure it out.
I mean, did you see Kobe as the number one at that time?
I had no choice to see Kobe as
not the number one, but as a number. Was he a number one, like mentality wise, heart wise, preparation?
He was a number one especially in his mind since the day he got in the league. He was already thinking that he was that guy. You know what I mean? Cole. One thing about Cole, he picked Michael Jordan's brain a lot as a youngster. He patterned his game after MJ, clearly.
Right.
He had the same mentality too. So when you have an extreme amount of talent that's driven and he outworks you, now you have ground to say, hey, like, I'm not passing you the ball. I don't trust you. I don't trust you because I'm putting in this type of work and you're not.
Yeah.
So he has the ground to he has the confidence to say, hey, man, I've been in here since 3 a.m. Where you been?
Right.
Like for example, I tried to beat him. Like, I was one of those that took pride on being at the gym first. I tried to beat him to the gym. Practice at 11, and I started at 8. He was in there dripping wet. 7 in there dripping wet. 6 in there. I'm like, all right, bro, I'm not coming any earlier. What time you getting in? And he said he got in there at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and he's doing off-season workouts during the season, preparing himself for the long haul. I mean, and then I said to myself, no wonder he didn't pass me the damn ball because he's putting in the work.
Right.
I can't get mad at him, right?
Yeah.
Because I saw it myself.
So let me ask you this. We always hear there are certain guys who are kind of, for whatever reason, indelibly put into that GOAT debate, right? So when you hear about a LeBron guy who, full disclosure, I don't think should be in the GOAT debate, but that's a whole different story. But when you hear about him, you always hear about how much time and work he puts into his body. And that has helped him to play at an extremely high level for an extremely long time, longer than we've ever seen anyone play at such a high level. Cool. Can you kind of talk to the difference? Because when you hear about Kobe, just like the story you told, we always hear about Kobe working on his game. Can you tell us about what you saw in terms of Kobe with his preparation? Obviously, the stories about the 40-mile bike rides and the, Kobe, I'm going to work myself to exhaustion, all the physical stuff. Cool. But can you tell us about his preparation and what he did more so in terms of developing every aspect of his basketball skill set that really set him apart from the others?
Well, I'm going to address the LeBron situation for a second
Sure.
before I get to, you have to add rules to another reason why he lasted so long. It's not as physical.
Okay.
So just keep in mind the different rules.
I've said that. Yep.
Not throwing any shade at LeBron or anything like that. It's just that you see more players, even Kevin Durant, you see more players last longer nowadays. Steph Curry wouldn't have lasted, I don't think he would have lasted 5 to 10 years as physical as it was back then.
Right.
Because dudes were going, you run across the middle, you're getting hit. They're I can't tell you how many times I saw the chiropractor. They rearranged my spinal cord every time I ran up in there. Their bodies are not, some of them are not built. Now, LeBron was built to take those type of hits, but it still would have taken years off of his reign. So just to address that for a second. Kobe was one of those, he was a student of the game. you know, he watches tape religiously. He's always talking basketball. He's looking at things through a different scope than most people. Most people are coming there and they want to last long in the NBA and they want to make a career out of it. Kobe's coming in with the scope of I want to be the best. So when you're trying to be the best, you're doing things differently than everybody else. You're taking care of your body better. You're eating better. Your drive is better. You're obsessed with the game and at a different. You're not going out at night chasing or drinking or smoking. Right. You're not doing none of that. You're you know, and you know he's had his situations, but
right.
It's he was pretty locked in for most of those 20 years. You know, he was locked in and prepared. He was prepared for anything that came at him on that court. He would play 2-on-1 against people, not 1-on-1, 2-on-1.
I've heard those stories too. Yeah.
I mean, he was prepared for anything.
He was different, man. He was different. How many rings? I mean, they got 3 together, Shaq and Kobe. Even though y'all lost to the Spurs that year, you were there. If Shaq doesn't leave after they lose that Detroit series and he gets back in shape the way he did in Miami, and he comes back with Kobe instead of leaving, do you think they can run off another three-peat like Jordan and Pippen did?
Absolutely. I think if Shaq was healthy and didn't have to have that toe surgery, we would have beaten San Antonio that year and won that year. It was the same team that was back.
Right.
You know?
Y'all was missing a third score, though. Y'all was missing a third score. Y'all didn't have a third. I think Derek Fisher might have been y'all third leading score with like 10 points.
They were getting it from many different areas. That triangle offense, man. Everybody was spread out. It was no different than Houston, right? Throw it in the dream, let him go to work, and then you had many different people that hurt you between 8 and 9 and 10. It adds up.
That's
and
true.
It wasn't like we were getting 120 points back then. You know, everybody was getting between 85, 90, 95.
That's true. So, and Kobe and Shaq was getting 60 of them.
Oh, easy. Sometimes 80s. Mess around on the wrong night. You know, so all Fish had to do was chip in 10. All Rob had to do was hit a couple of 3-pointers and get a couple block shots. All B. Shaw had to do was hit a couple. All Rick Fox had to do was hit a couple. You know, so you know, you add those 8 to 10 points up with 60 to 70 points, you're already there.
Yeah, but Tracy,
so that 60 to 70 was consistent.
Correct. So Tracy, Kobe couldn't wait. Like he felt like, okay, now it's time. We three-peated. I was your co-star. You know, everything kind of gradually got to the point where, you know, he's definitely lagging behind Shaq. And then now it almost seemed like they was kind of equals. And then at some point, Kobe felt like I'm the one, right? And he was ready for his own team. But I see in LA that transition with Kareem and Magic happen, where you can actually pass the baton and still stay together, right? So if Kobe would have waited and kept winning with Shaq, and they mess around and get 6 just like Jordan did, is there a way where he could get those 6 rings and Kobe still be considered like as high on the GOAT list as we got him now? Because if he don't get his own team, in some people's eyes, he's always Shaq's sidekick.
Right. And they would have said that. But eventually it would have happened, you know, to where he would have been the alpha. You know, Shaq was still in his prime. You know, he was just injured that year. He was still in his prime. You know, it might have been the second half of his prime, but he was still there. So all he had to wait was maybe 1.5, 2 more years, and it was his, and then he can carry the rest of the way, and Shaq can be the co-star. But I just thought it was, maybe Shaq thought it was too early, you know what I mean, before to hand it over, because here it is. He misses half that year that we lost. Then he goes to Miami, where he played 1 more year with Melman and them, and then he went to Miami. So it was 2 years from when I played with him. That would have been perfect for him to take the team over, right? You know, it was right there, because Kobe was really that guy when you had Carl and Gary Payton and all those guys on the team. Kobe was really the guy at that point. He was making he was about to be handed that baton.
Yeah.
Do you think Shaq would have ever willingly handed it to Kobe though? Like when he went to Miami, that was already D Wade's team. So he says, okay, well, I'm going to play good soldier here. But do you think, knowing what he was at his peak, the 3-time finals MVP, all of that, most dominant guy maybe that we've ever seen outside of Wilt, do you think that he would have willingly said, okay, Kobe, you're ready, it's yours now?
One thing Shaq is he's a smart guy.
Okay.
I think he would have, because all of us are real with ourselves when we're quiet and we're by ourselves.
Right.
And you can know when, oh dang man, my foot's hurting, I can't move anymore, my body's starting to act a certain way. Like after my arthroscopic hip surgery when I was with the Lakers, I knew I wasn't right, and I didn't know if I was ever going to be right again.
Mm-hmm.
But me and my ego, I'm like, nah, I'm still that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, when you have that quiet time, it might be that time to hand it off to the young fella, So
okay, I
think he was getting to that point.
Mm-hmm.
So from the player's perspective, okay, you have Shaq may have been ready to hand it over to Kobe or whatnot, just maybe a little struggle. Is there any involvement from the coaching standpoint? Because you guys had Phil Jackson there. So did he have these conversations with these guys, or he just like kind of stay out of it from as far as you know?
Man, Phil ain't said nothing to nobody.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
Phil only said 2 words to me all season. So I know he's not saying anything to them.
That's funny.
No, Phil was, in my opinion, he got 11 rings, one of the greatest coaches to ever do it. But, in order to be one of the greatest coaches to ever do it, you got to be pretty doggone smart. You got to get people on your coaching staff that you can trust, that's going to do their part. Like Phil is probably the only one that could talk to, Shaq and Kobe. But did he get in the middle of it? I don't think he did. I think he may have said 1 or 2 things, and that's about it. Because Phil is a man of few words when it comes to stuff like that. But I just think eventually they would have had to sit down and work it out as men.
Yeah, I feel like as Laker alums, right? I think Magic and Kareem should have had to sit down with both of them, with Jerry West, and say, "Look, this is how me and Cap did it." Magic, this is how me and Cap did it. He was the elder statesman. I came in as a rookie. You know what I mean? Eventually, he had to pass the baton because of age, and they got to get in Shaq's ear and tell him that. But I remember back in the day, Kareem would somewhat talk to Shaq through the media, right? He would say stuff like, "Yeah, he good, but he ain't won nothing yet." And then when he won, it was like, "Yeah, but can they do it again?"
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know if they was having like phone convos or face to face. I don't know how it work in Laker Nation, man. I don't know if y'all actually sitting down and talking, or y'all just talking to people through the media, because Phil will write books on you and speak like that.
He write books in a minute, man. They said nothing to me all year, but no. But all jokes aside, I think that would have been an excellent idea. But if you notice, when the transition, those who were old enough to remember the transition between Magic and Kareem got hurt.
Yep.
Magic had to carry him and get that 42 in that championship game against Dr. J. And that was almost the changing of the guards right there on its own. Same thing was happening with us. Shaq got hurt. Kobe was starting to, get that changing of the guards. I think it would have organically happened if there was a little bit more patience around.
Now I got a question for you. Earlier you were speaking about how Lenny Wilkins used Clark the right way, and a lot of cats. Can you speak to the talent that's in the NBA that we don't get to see based off of team that they're on or whatever?
There, especially in the era that I played in, and no shade to this one, because I'm not in the locker rooms, I'm not in the practices, so I don't know who does what from 8 through 13. I don't know what the talent level is from that point because I'm not at practices or anything. But in my era, like there were dudes that didn't play, didn't suit up, that will be given the starter's business on a normal basis.
Mm.
There will be like we had this one dude come in the training camp in Washington, and he scorched everybody. And I was like, damn, I'm glad I got a guaranteed contract. Right? He got cut. It's just like it's crazy. Like Ben Wallace like busted through the door and took him a spot. Now he didn't do it by scoring, he did it by dominating the defensive end. Like how many times did anybody come up there? I don't care if it was C Webb, myself, Jawan, George Mirasan, I don't care who it was. No, Strick was probably the only one that can get one off and in there. He would block everybody's stuff out of there. We're playing pickup games. Who is this dude? Who is this dude? And that's how he got on the team. You know, and a lot of us went to West Hudson like, yo, we got to keep young fella. We got to keep young fella. He's not asking for the ball on the other end. He's dominating the defensive end. We got to keep the young fella. And then from that point on, the Hall of Fame career of Ben Wallace was born.
Wow.
Yeah, perfect.
Shout
All right, so Tracy, we go go around the table with some quick hitters before we get you out of here. Because we don't want to take too much of your time because we'll keep asking you questions all day long. So maybe we'll bring you back for some more because
Hey, I'll come back. All
right, no doubt. I appreciate that. So we're gonna do some quick hitters, and since he's talking about some under the radar guys, you probably ain't got this question before, Tracy. All the teams you played on, all the great players you played with, I'm gonna ask you for your top 5. You got to give me a player for each position. Top 5 players that's not Hall of Famers.
Oh,
right. I already know the point guard is right. The point guard is right.
That's the point guard is solidified. That's strict, no question. That's a heck of a.
Yeah.
You got me. Brandon Roy at the 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Jamal Mashburn at the 3. No. I take that back. Glenn Big Dog Robinson at the 3.
I mean, they're the same player almost.
I had to go on with Mash, but that's very close.
Yeah, that's about the same.
I love both of them, so my respect is there. I love both of them.
Yeah.
At the 4. Sean Kemp or Ben Baker.
Okay.
All right, which one? Which one you want? Which one?
I'm going with the Rain Man, Kemp.
Rain Man. That's a heck of a squad. All right, the center.
At the 5.
Rod Strickland.
The 5 is hard. The 5 is hard because it's like most of the bigs and got in.
Who's an underrated 5?
I got underrated 4s, but not 5s.
Does it have to be a teammate, Mel?
Yeah, teammate. Yeah.
I mean, teammates.
Juwan Howard.
Yeah. People you play with.
Teammates. People. Now.
Yeah, people you play with. I was wondering. I was like, man, when he play with Brandon Roy?
No, I didn't know. No, I was just saying players.
Okay.
Okay.
Rod Strickland.
Yep.
You made it even harder with teammates now.
It is harder, yeah.
Cal Cheney got to be that too.
I'm stumped, man. I'm stumped.
Did Ori get in?
No. Rob would be like the 4. Well, he can be the 3.
Okay.
He can be the 3.
3 or 4.
Juwan Howard. Him and Juwan Howard can flip it to 3 or 4.
Okay.
So that's 3 players. The 2 and the 5 got to be man. I'm gonna say at the 5,
George Mearson.
Hey, George Mearson gave y'all some good seasons though, man.
Yeah, he had some good seasons.
He had that Snickers commercial I remember as a kid.
Now that cologne commercial.
It was a Snickers.
Either him or Kevin Duckworth.
Ooh, yeah, that's good.
Because Duck had game.
Mm-hmm.
I go
you
with
know,
Duck.
the weight got the best of him, but Duck had game.
Yeah, I go with Duck.
And
so
at the
Duck,
three,
Howard, Robert Ory.
I got the three.
Okay.
Clifford Robinson.
There it is.
Yeah, rest in peace, Cliff, man. Oh man.
Right.
So you going with Ory and Cliff? That's a heck of versatility right there.
You can even put Cliff at the 2 because he was versatile.
Mm-hmm. He was.
He can guard many positions. He can put the ball on the deck. He can shoot. He can post up. He can hit a 3. Cliff did he was the first 7-foot dude that can do multiple things. He was versatile.
Yeah. I think Cliff was the first one I seen like that. Then after that, Tim Thomas came.
Yeah, Tim Thomas came. Even though he was 6'8", 6'9".
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm talking like close to 7 feet. Now, the first person I've ever seen shoot jump shots at 7'2" was Brad Sellers. But the first person that was just a straight wing player at 7 foot was Cliff.
Yeah. That's right.
Like even Robert wasn't a natural 3. Houston played him at a 3. He wasn't a natural 3. He had to kind of figure it out, and then he ended up going back to the 4 with the Lakers.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
Real quick.
That was a hard question.
Yeah, it was.
If you had to say, who would you think in today's game closest resembles your game?
Oh,
Klay Thompson.
Okay.
Klay was me with better defense. And I'm not talking about currently right now. I'm talking about the prime.
We talking about 11 dribble Klay.
I'm talking about
Right.
I'm talking prime Klay Thompson. Now Klay is who I was at the end for damn sure. right now, yeah. Like injuries, you're trying to find this shot a little bit inconsistent. Yeah. But it happens to everybody. By the time
it's another guy. It's another guy other than Klay. I like the Klay comparison, but without the dribbling, because Middleton do a lot with the ball. But when Middleton don't have the ball, he got some of your game.
Middleton dribbled more than I did. Middleton can come off of pick and rolls and like he was ISO. Middleton had smooth game, bro. I love Middleton's game. Middleton's smooth with it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's Klay and I kind of had a similar build. Middleton's a little bit taller, about 6'8.5". Me and Klay 6'7", kind of the same build, but Middleton shoots it just as good as we do. So great comparison.
I got a couple quick questions for you. Number one, I'm sorry, I got to do it. You here? Where do you have LeBron ranked all time?
Oh, I was trying to avoid that.
That ain't a damn quick hitter.
Right. You can't deny what he's done in his career. You can't.
Right.
You can't. He's an all-time leading scorer. He's going to be a lot of all-time everything in a minute because he's still playing.
Right.
So
that's why he's still playing.
You can't deny what he's done in his career. So top 5. I don't have a number where he's at in the top 5, but top 5 because of what he's done, what he's done in over the long period of time, and he's still contributing at a high level at year 22.
Mm-hmm.
It's unheard of, bro. It's unheard of what he's doing. When I look at LeBron, I don't look at him as one player. I look at him as a hybrid. He's a hybrid of Magic. He's a hybrid of Karl Malone. And he's a hybrid of Michael Jordan. Athleticism, strength, and ball handling and passing. He's a hybrid of all 3.
For sure. That's dope. And now I got a off basketball question for you. Yes, sir. I'm a big wrestling fan, and I've read that you are.
Me too.
They've just recently struck a deal, and actually tomorrow, the free publicity, they'll have their first premium live event called WrestlePalooza on ESPN.
Right.
how do you feel about wrestling being mainstream on ESPN now?
I don't know how I feel about it because they had their own lane and they were successful in their own lane.
Right.
So now you're turning, sports entertainment and you bring it to a sports channel.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how it's going to work, but Triple H is taking risks, man. I've been knowing Paul for a long time, man, and he's just trying to knock down barriers and keep moving forward. And so it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure about this move, but we'll see how it works out.
One of the things that Melvin and I talked about for years is how it seemed like other leagues were leaning on the WWE's spectacle and entertainment part of sports entertainment, and even creating storylines to kind of push their product. So with that, it kind of makes sense almost in a marriage aspect with ESPN. But I mean, I wish they would go all the way back to the WWE network. You know what I'm saying? The Peacock thing was cool. They had their own entire network. Everything was in one place. I could just find wrestling from before I was born up until last night. You know what I mean? That was easy, quick access. But I mean,
now I got to go to ESPN. I got to go to Peacock if I want to see something from the past. I got to run over to Netflix if I want to watch Raw.
USA Network for SmackDown.
It's like, come on, man. It's like we're running to too many different areas to see it, And I know they're chasing that dollar, but we're still running to too many places to see it now. And I'm wondering if, one thing about wrestling fans that I've noticed, and I've been around WrestleManias and all kinds of things, man. It's like they're a loyal group.
For sure.
Wherever they go, they're gonna go. Now, if you're a sports fan that's trying to catch on to this, I don't know how loyal you will be, but a WWE fan, they're a little bit different. They're a little different. They're a little different. So they're a loyal followers. They're gonna follow them wherever they go.
And just real quick to speak on that too. Halliburton is real big and real upfront about his fandom into the wrestling world, and I think that's bringing more more basketball fans in casually to the wrestling arena. I think what Triple H is doing is brilliant business wise. As someone spending money to watch it, just put it all in one place for me, please.
Right. No, I agree with you. And Triple H and I have, what he's doing with Halliburton, we did with each other. It's like when he was a wrestler, I would be in the back and he goes, okay, where you going to be sitting? Him and Mr. Perfect would come out and immediately start yapping at me in the old Cap Center when I was with the Wizards, and we would have a little back and forth. So, he understands the marriage. He understands the marriage of sports and support and entertainment and sports. He understands the intertwining. He understands.
Shout out to Mr. Perfect. R.I.P. Listen,
Kurt Hennig, the great.
To this day, I still toss the towel around and catch it with the other hand. Anytime I'm chewing gum, when I spit it out, I smack it out the air like Mr. Perfect. Like, those things from my childhood have stuck with me. Yeah,
simply perfect.
So to tell the wrestling how I got involved with wrestling, my cousin was born with spina bifida.
Okay.
So on Saturday mornings when we would spend the weekend over at my grandmother's and with him, he would control the TV on Saturday mornings. So we watched everything wrestling. I don't care if it was WCW. I don't care if it was
UWF,
WWE, UWF, all of that. We're watching the Von Erichs. We're watching everybody, right?
WPCW,
so,
that's right.
Yeah, we're everybody. So, and he even had us watching the doggone cartoon. So we watched everything wrestling. We were sitting there like, man, somebody turn on the game.
Yeah.
So, but then you sit there with him enough and you watch it, you understand it, you see the storylines. There's more to it than just people beating the hell out of each other with chairs. It's a storyline. So so when I got to the league, I knew who his heroes were. It wasn't us. He loved basketball and he loved people over there. So he got to meet people on that side too. But my goal, what I wanted to do and there's going to be some controversy when I say it because he loved Hulk Hogan. So I wanted to get him the Hulk Hogan. So, and Hulk Hogan treated him tremendous, treated our family tremendous. I was a co-chairman of a handicap. They were housing handicapped people. The Blue Review McMillan Foundation was a golf tournament, and they were raising money for that, where they house handicapped kids. Okay. So we were both co-chairmen of that charity event. So
that's dope.
I had a different interaction with Hulk Hogan than what was going on with him at the end, you know. And I don't agree with what he was doing at the end, but I saw a different dude, you know what I mean, and how he treated my family. So was it disappointing to see what was going on at the end? Yeah, but I also knew how he treated my family.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of like, you know, people. I took heat for putting R.I.P. Hogan on my thing. You know, dudes was coming at me, and I was like, well, he treated my family good. You know, do I agree with him? No, absolutely not. I'm black just like y'all are. I don't agree with that at all. But sure. he did treat my folks cool. So that's my 2 cents on Hogan.
All right.
Definitely appreciate
that. By the way, Undertaker, former basketball player, like my brother.
I believe it.
My father, former basketball player, football player, my brother. Ernest the Cat Miller, my brother. Like all of these dudes, I'm really close. I just got off the phone with Cat yesterday, so I'm really, I'm cool with all of these dudes. The Guerreros, rest in peace, Eddie. I'll be with Chavo in a week or so.
What?
Chavo's gonna be at a golf tournament. So,
that's what's up, man.
Yeah. So, I mean,
hey, tell Chavo to make a return while everybody else making these returns, man. I ain't seen Chavo in it.
Man, hey, and he's still.
Chavo still could go. He can still go.
Yeah, I bet he could, bro. I bet. Chavo was nice. Chavo was nice.
And still.
All right, so I got a quick question. If someone says Tracy Murray, what is one highlight of yours, high school, college, NBA career, that pops in your head?
64-point game in the state championship, and we lost.
Damn.
And it was in the same building that I had the 50-point game against the Warriors.
Okay.
That's insane.
So you knew I was coming to that building feeling confident.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing I was gonna play. That was my building.
Right.
Yeah, that was my building. Oracle was my building.
Okay.
And that was who was y'all? That was 64 points in your senior year in high school.
Last game, state championship game.
Championship.
The guy that I relied on, my teammate, got low bridge in the first quarter, so I knew I wasn't going to have him. Everybody else was scared. Menlo Atherton, who was there the year before, they had experience. They were there and lost the year before, so they were like, "Hey, we're back." So they're motivated, and they were like, "We're not letting no one guy beat us." So I tried, but you know, that's just letting you know right there that no one person can beat a team.
What was the final score of that game?
89-83.
Oh.
Damn, yeah, you had no
you
help.
Can't get one more person to come with you, man.
Had no help.
Right.
You couldn't get one more
person. Man.
Little Timmy, who ain't played all season, couldn't come in and spark something for you real quick.
And please don't tell me you had 7 assists, because if you had
it was 64, 19 rebounds, 7 block shots.
Damn.
5 assists and 3 steals, and we lost.
Oh, there wouldn't have been no Oracle that game. There would that'd have been the last day of Oracle.
I mean, you talk about literally giving your all.
Yeah.
3 assists, 5 steals. 3 assists, 5 steals.
Okay. So he's out there playing
deep. You talking about a stat line. There wouldn't have been no Oracle. We lost? No, y'all lost. I did my job. I did my job and some of y'all's. Y'all lost.
Stats, right?
I said, damn, I lost.
Oh, man. Okay, I got one.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, let me get mine real quick, Mel. So first, real quick, I'm a big wrestling fan as well, but I don't really like I love AEW now. We're the best wrestling. I'm a huge fan of AEW. WWE too much with the soap opera for me. But anyway, so back to the basketball. So we see like the influx of international players playing at an extremely high level as soon as they walk into the league now. And when you played, it wasn't like that. Obviously, the physicality played a huge role, and those guys had to get used to it. So if I heard correctly, you got to Portland probably just after Petro left. You missed him. So seeing what he became, what do you think of Petro, and what do you think he would be if he played in the NBA today?
I think Petro, we were in the same situation.
Okay.
We were a victim of numbers. He was a 10th man. I was a 10th man. You had pretty much the same person in the 10th man talking about we need shooting, right?
Right.
What he did with the Nets didn't surprise me. Didn't surprise me because he can flat out score the ball. And when you're on a losing team and you're trying to build something, and they were building something because they had Kenny and Derek Coleman. They were building something special there, and they lost a major piece when Petro died.
Yeah.
So they were building something. I kind of felt like he did when I went to Toronto. I got an opportunity, and boom, this is what I can do. And he felt the same way when he got to the Nets. This is what I can do. Now, if the rules, what he would do in today's game would be unbelievable. You know, like he can't be touched. He was getting hit too, right? So put him in today's game, he's destroying. Like he's moving. He's constantly moving. You know, and he's moving faster than Luka. Constantly moving.
Well, that ain't hard.
Like he was. But that's my point. Like he is actually moving.
Right.
You know, this dude, he constant movement, and you can't hit him, you can't grab him, you can't. You know, no, he shoots too fast.
Yeah.
You know, he was very accurate, very accurate. You know, rest in peace to Petro, man, because he was the beginning of what is happening now.
Right.
Vlade kicked down the doors. Petro was the one that said, "Hey, we can play too." Tony Kukoc will be a monster in the league at this, like right now. You know, you can't touch him.
Marcelonis.
Actually, Marcelonis was probably the first one because Sabonis came over late. Sabonis was killing with us. And he was old. And he was old.
I try to
imagine
tell
a young, athletic Arvidas Sabonis.
He was the Jokic before Jokic. He was the one.
Me and Mel joke. We joke all the time about how Pager and Turkoglu would kill the league right now.
Oh man, Turkoglu was Stojakovic. Both of them be killing. Both of them be killing. Like Turkoglu had. I haven't cursed yet. Turkoglu had some shit, y'all. Turkoglu was. Turkoglu was 6'11".
Orlando.
Turkoglu, like he came in the league my size. Later on, he kept growing. He ended up being about 6'10". Like Turkoglu,
and they had him off ball, Tracy. He didn't get a chance to play with the ball until Van Gundy gave it to him in Orlando.
And when he got Orlando, he was a problem in Orlando.
Yeah,
but you know what? Like Sacramento was trying to give him some love off the dribble, but when we got an alarm.
Mel is very technologically uninclined. That was probably his microwave. I don't know how. That was probably his microwave.
Oh, that's what it was,
Jay. But Sacramento was trying to give Turkoglu a little bit of love with the basketball, but he was playing behind Stojakovic, and he had established himself for who he was. But when they played those two together, it was hard to guard them.
Come on,
it was hard to guard them.
Man,
yeah, Turkoglu with them.
Turkoglu was cold in Orlando.
I do for sure.
Hey, you better get him off you, dog. You leave your seat, and they start getting you. You better get him off you, dog.
Yeah.
You put that aluminum foil in the microwave again.
Eating up that garlic bread.
Oh man.
Oh my God, man! All right, man. Y'all got anything else for Tracy? You got anything for us before you leave, big dog?
I've been watching you guys for a little while now, man. I'm glad I finally got on here. You know, it's y'all cool, man. I look forward to being on here again with you guys. I have fun, man.
Man, it was
yeah, for sure. Hey, well, before you go, WNBA. What you thinking about what's going on with WNBA right now?
So this is what I think, and people may get mad at me when I say this. They are off the charts right now, right? The playoffs is crazy right now. That game with the Aces last night was crazy. I think they deserve more money. They deserve it. We need people to support them. Put your butts in seats, buy a jersey, get your eyes on the screen so these young ladies can get their money. I think that's what's keeping them from getting their money. They're wearing, but at the same time, don't wear any shirts talking about we need to get paid and stuff, because now you're gonna get Joe athletes who don't watch the W. Now you're gonna turn them up. You're trying to reel those people in. You're trying to get more eyes on the screen. So continue to do what you're doing. Their Juju's coming in soon. Hey, and I'm on the women's side. Those 2026s, 2027s, 28s, 29s, 30s are stockpile full of talent. The women's game in the future is off the chain, y'all.
And
so
we're getting
right now,
we're getting 2 more teams in W2, so it's gonna be
and
be
they
a lot
need
of places.
to keep expanding. They need to keep expanding because there's too much talent out there for them not to be in the WNBA. So we need more eyes on the screen. We need more people buying stuff so these girls can be supported, man. I mean, I think another thing they were trying to do when the league was in trouble. Bird and Magic came in and they used that storyline from college and they saved the league, right? They were trying to do it with Caitlin and Angel, but it got a little too serious and they started taking that girl out. That girl needs to be on the floor, y'all. She needs to be on the floor for those eyes that we don't normally get to be out there. You know what I mean? And to get them that extra money. She was bringing people that don't normally come to the NBA with, to the WNBA. So that girl needs to be on the floor. Don't take her out. Yeah. Be competitive. Don't injure the girl. Because there's so many people like, hey, come on, man. Hey, it went from sellout crowds to her games to only half people in the arenas. Like, you can't lose your golden goose.
Here's the issue, though,
that's
Tracy.
what it is. It's marketing.
Here's the issue, though. The golden goose is being marketed to be the best, and she's nowhere near the best. So
I'm on your page. I agree.
So the gap between where she actually is and where her fans and some of the media think she is, that gap is so huge that you're asking the other females to compensate for that gap by, okay, we got to compete less against her because we need her on the floor. I'm that's
saying
unfair.
Don't hurt her. I'm saying don't hurt her. That's all I'm saying.
Y'all professional athletes are gladiators almost.
Right. Okay. But the women aren't built like us yet. They're getting there. There's a lot of them that are getting like their bodies can't do exactly everything that men can do. Black is that's just a natural physical, just out of being physical. Just bodies can take different, right? So my thing is, like, maybe she can't take getting jacked up running through the middle, but I understand. Trust me, if we saw people come in all the time, we'd be like, they ain't that damn good, and they're marketing them. We saw it all the time, right? Business-wise, the league is valuable, more valuable with her out there than her sitting on the bench, if we can agree, business-wise.
Business-wise, yes, I can agree with that, Tracy. But basketball-wise, she's Jeremy Lin.
What is the WNBA?
It's a business.
It's a business.
Jeremy Lin is.
What is the NBA? A business.
A business. Yeah.
That's why I wasn't a damn star, because of the business.
Yeah.
Like, I can outscore a lot of people, but my ass was on the bench because I wasn't putting asses in the seats.
Okay.
So I'm looking at it from just a pure basketball point of view or an athlete point. I'm looking at it from a business point of view. They like that girl, so you gotta let her in. I'm not saying let her kill you. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that she's got to be on the floor.
I got to be on the floor. So here's my little bit of pushback. I would understand it if the gap wasn't so huge between where she's actually at and where she needs to be marketed that way, right? So the reason why I said y'all as professionals are gladiators and mentality, meaning that if you give me a challenge, if you tell me, and this is a perfect example for the NBA side, when LeVar Ball went on national media and told the whole world that Lonzo was the best player coming into the league. He was better than Steph Curry. He's going to be the best point guard next year. Everybody that's in the league was like, okay, you think he's better than Steph Curry? We go show. What did Pat Beverly do the game number 1?
Full court press.
And I'm beating you up, and the refs let him because the refs needed to send that message to him, right? So the when you tell a gladiator, hey, this person is the best person that ever played women's basketball, and she's about to come and take over your league, and you Asia Wilson, like, what?
Right.
Take over the league. Okay, we gonna show you. So they gave them a challenge, and they showing them that she's not the best.
So where I disagree with the people that are marketing and that are saying she's the best, let her prove it. Don't say she is. You know what I'm saying? Say she's a good player. She's gonna be a solid pro. Okay, but it's up to her to prove that she's the best. Don't put that on her, because I don't think she's the best either. I agree with you. I just understand that she puts asses in seats.
She does, but I think they just gotta rethink how they're gonna market and realize we like that's quicksand. We can't put the league on her shoulders while she's standing on quicksand, because it's going to be the Jeremy Lin effect. She's got an extended Linsanity. That it started as Jimmer Fredette in college, and then it turned into Linsanity in the pros. And it's the extended version of Linsanity, and it's over. It's over. And everybody have same page now, and everybody has got real acquainted with Asia Wilson, who was the Hakeem Olajuwon of the league.
Right.
And we're realizing, Caitlin ain't what they said she is. But all right, I don't want to get on there. I'm gonna get you out of here, but I won't.
No. Let's talk for a little bit more, because
all right, let's go. Let's go.
I am not disagreeing with what you're saying. I am definitely on the same page with what you're saying with that, because Asia is on another planet right now.
Man,
Nafisa Collier is unbelievable, right? That team, both teams are playing at different levels right now. I know that since the playoffs started, you might want to see the Aces play a little bit better. But Minnesota, man, they've been dominant all year. The Aces finished off with a 18-1 finish.
Yeah.
Like you see them, both of those come to they might be coming to a head with both how they both playing, man. And it's like the W is in a good place. It's going to be in a good place even in the future coming up. Juju is going to be. She's going to be an impact.
Amazing.
She's going to be an impact.
Yeah.
Paige.
Now,
Paige
is hooping. Rookie of the year. She's hooping. And you know what? Just to hit Caitlin Clark for a second again. She's got to get more than just a go left, step back, and right all the way to the basket.
Yep.
Like if I can see where her game is, and everybody else is going to scout you, you got to start adding more to your game.
That's right.
Man, you definitely have to watch a man down for sure.
No, but it's not that I wasn't agreeing with you guys, because skill wise, yes, she needs to get better. I just know that she puts money in the WNBA's pocket. That's all I know. So
she does.
That's just my hot take on Caitlin Clark.
Hey Tracy, by the way, you missed it when you were talking about the some of the players on the come up. Watch Hannah Hill go out of Notre Dame too. She's
my goodness, yeah, heck yeah, who's yeah.
She's gonna get busy.
Yeah, she can play.
I'm a big fan of her. She's nice.
Yeah, she can go. Yeah,
that's
but
right.
There's a lot of girls. There's a lot of them that's not in the W that should be there that can play.
Yeah,
that's why we need more teams. I mean, shout out to the Valkyries. Look, how did they play? They really pushed. They pushed hard. Then they almost had them.
Did not expect that at all.
Right.
Lost by one. What in that last game? Right, they lost by one.
Yeah, they gave up a 17-point lead though. You can't give up a 17-point lead to the best team in the league.
Can't do that.
No, you got to bury them.
Now, how does watching the W make you feel as a girl dad of some hoopers and as a coach of young AAU girls? Like, how does that, seeing the direction of the league and potentially growing, so by the time that they get ready to hopefully, transition to that way, it'll be in a really good place for them.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a supporter from the W from the beginning. I grew up with Lisa Leslie. I grew up with Tina Thompson, like my little sister. I grew up watching Cheryl Miller and Cynthia Cooper and the McGee twins. So I grew up, my mom's an athlete. I grew up watching the W, watching them, following them, knowing them, being in the same gyms as them. So when they came with the W, I was a supporter right from the beginning. I was at all of the Spark games in the summertime. I took my mom to the game and my family and everything. So I've always been a supporter. So to see where it was then when Lisa was a star and Cynthia was a star, all the way to where it is now, the league is in a good place, man. It's just continuing to grow and grow and grow, and there's more and more talent out there. I'm telling you, watch out for like this little girl that's a junior right now, Special K, out here in California. Man, wait until you see her. She's probably the number one guard in her class. She goes to Ontario Christian High School.
Okay.
Special K, Kalina. Her name is Kalina.
Okay.
Like she whoo-wee. She like you like Rod Strickland, you don't like Kalina. Kalina's legit.
You mentioned Rod Strick again. I cannot remember her name. The point guard for Rutgers, I think, with the ridiculous handle. I cannot remember her name. She runs point for Rutgers. It's disgusting. Like absolutely disgusting.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent. I mean, my Bruins, my Lady Bruins, they did their thing last year too in the Final Four. I took my girls out to the Final Four, and my brother and them, we all went out there to the Final Four to watch them. So it's like there's talent out there, man. At USC, I hate to say it, but they're still good. I mean, they're still really good. They're really good, and Juju's on the sideline, and they're still really good this year. Like it's about to be a problem.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So,
all right, man.
Hold on, Mel.
That Keomi McMillan play too. She can play too.
Real quick, Mel. Last one before we go. So, to my knowledge, they haven't named WNBA MVP yet. I think they just did the co-defensive player. Tracy, in your eyes, who's the MVP this year for the W?
Asia. Like I love Nafisa. I love Nafisa, but Nafisa missed some games. She missed some games. Asia was consistent throughout the whole year, and when they made that turnaround, she was a major reason why.
What? She went nuts. I don't know what happened. She
went absolutely. She switched.
Was that about the same time she started dating Bam Adebayo?
No, she been dating Bam.
When they went public, and then what I'm saying, she was wearing his
shirts. No, this is what I think happened, Chris. Tracy, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, they came out public during the Olympics, but correct me if I'm wrong, Tracy. So I think Bleacher Report and maybe ESPN put out the top 25 players in the W, and they put Fee number 1 and Asia number 2. And so that same week, that's when they lost a game by 50 points as well. And then 2K came out, and Fee was ranked higher than Asia on 2K. So it was like a series of things that happened, and then Asia was like, forget that.
Which is crazy because Asia got to cover. Asia got to cover.
this is the crazy thing. Like, this is the first time I haven't seen Asia put it in cruise. Like, she'll put it in cruise sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
From that point that you named, you know, right at the beginning, that blowout had a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't been in cruise control since.
Yeah.
No.
She hasn't taken a playoff since. She's been pedal to the metal. She's been mashing since. Somebody put it could be a co-MVP. It could be because you gotta give it up to Minnesota and being their best record.
Mm-hmm.
And so it could be, and Nafisa's a good defender as well.
Yeah.
So and she can do stuff out on the perimeter a little bit more. Asia's a dominant post player. She can step out and knock down a shot. She can put it on the deck. It's similarities there, and there's a few little bit of differences, but they're neck and neck, man. They're neck and neck. I got Asia because I'm a little bit biased. I got a home in Vegas, so I've been to a few of their games, and I've seen her do it in person.
Okay.
So I'm a little bit biased.
All right, anybody got anything else before we get Tracy his night back, man? Hey, Trace, we're gonna invite you back, big dog. So just let us know you got some free time.
We're gonna invite you to the podcast too, man.
I enjoyed it, and
I appreciate it.
I like when we had a difference of opinion. You stuck to what you were saying. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Not everybody does that, so I love it.
This was dope and an honor, Tracy, for real.
Absolutely.
This was a pleasure.
Well, it's a dope and an honor for me to be on with you guys as well.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, man. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, you want to tell the people where they can find you if you do.
Oh yeah, are you still doing UCLA radio?
Yes, I'm on UCLA radio still. This is my 18th year.
Wow.
18th year. So I'm doing that. I'm on ABC7 post game locally in LA on the Slam Dunk Show with Michael Cooper and Norm Nixon.
Ooh.
So I got two legends I'm with, and Rob Fukuzaki. He's the host of that show. I'm on Instagram with at Real Tracy L Murray, Facebook at Real Tracy Murray. My man from Toronto right there. That's right. Big up. Real Tracy Murray on Facebook and X. So yeah.
Right,
so you can find me in those places.
All right. Well, thank you for your time again, man. Everybody, this was Tracy Murray, man, and it was a good interview. I appreciate him stopping by, and we're gonna see you again, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
All right,
Thank
man. Hey, that was fun, y'all. We're not gonna get to the rest of the topic, y'all. Obviously, hold on. Where's my? There we go. Yeah, so we're not gonna get to the rest of our topics. I mean, I probably do this. I'll probably come back in here and do this tomorrow. I'll probably do this show tomorrow because I had a rundown set up for it.
Right.
But the interview went too well, right? It was supposed to be like 30 minutes, and then we was gonna get to our regular show, but
I think that was just the show. That was
right.
That was
love.
That was the show.
But the Trae Young stuff was funny though. The Trae Young stuff was funny.
We got time for that.
No, we don't. No, we don't. So, hold on. Do we got time? It's up to Brittany, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but I gotta listen to it. I don't know what's going on, so you gotta fill me in.
Oh man.
All right, let's go to the Trae Young. Okay, we'll do Trae Young, y'all. All right. So it's a Twitter beef going on with Pat Bev and Trae Young, and it started with someone asking Pat Bev a fan question on his podcast about the players dogging and doing the All-Star, and he commented on it, and then Trae Young kind of tweeted out, "Yeah, you might want to lead us to the All-Stars to let us answer that question, big dog."
Ooh.
And then Pat Bev didn't like it, so I play what Pat Bev said.
Hoop Herald goes, honest question. Why do NBA players play so hard in random open gyms in the summer but give no effort in the All-Star game with millions watching? My response is because All-Stars take the game for granted. It's not one All-Star on a basketball court. It's just good naturally, good bump. Trae Young's response was,
he said, relax, let us speak for ourselves. Interesting.
I don't know. I don't think he's in a position to speak. I don't think he's won enough to even speak to me like that or tweet me like that. He's been to the playoffs 3 times. I've been to the playoffs 9.
9 is more than 3.
He's been in the NBA 7 years. My first 7 years, I didn't miss the playoffs at all.
Interesting.
In the Western Conference.
Interesting.
Right? His rebuttal is probably going to be, yeah, you want the main player on the team. You're absolutely right. But this is why it's a team. I've talked to people who played in Atlanta. They don't want to play there.
Why?
They don't think he's a good leader. They don't think he's a good teammate. This is not coming from me. So this is coming from over here. Trey, you can score all the points you want. You can make all the money you want. You can have all the leading assists you want. You can do all that. If you don't win, that matter. If you don't win when you're retired, they're gonna forget your name fast too. So I don't even think he has the wiggle room to talk about not playing hard for an all-star game. You're not like you're playing in the playoffs.
So what do you think his point is?
I don't know.
He's just trying to put himself above you.
I think so. Like, let us speak. Like, what do you mean? Okay, well, let the play in the playoffs more than 9 years speak to them before you speak. He played with Tommy Pat, man. Atlanta Hawks called the Trey Hawks.
Interesting.
And then the first word he used is relax. And I'm like, relax, you should be uncomfortable. You should be more uncomfortable. Why? That's the problem. Relax. 7 years, you made the playoffs 3 times. You're too relaxed. Get uncomfortable. Really get uncomfortable and lead your team to some more wins and playoff push. The game is better. The game needs that from you. Trust me. It's kids up here that look up to you. Talking about relax. You get uncomfortable. I challenge you to do that. Don't put yourself up here, right? Because you score a lot of points and a lot of assists, but you lose.
Well, it seems like he's just trying to take it as a chance to take a shot that you haven't been in an all-star game.
Obviously, but I've been on teams who won 50 games. I don't know what missing the playoff feels like. I have to tell my family, yeah, daddy be home in June. I don't know what April and early May in Atlanta feels like. I don't. Knee deep in the trenches.
I mean, I think the obvious answer to the actual question is that people are trying to get better in the summertime, and nobody's trying to get better during the all-star game. They're trying to, like, you know, just get some a fancy layup.
Okay, well, if that's the case, go get MVP every year in the all-star game. Then I won't to you.
All that stopping was the cuss words getting blanked out. That's how much he was going in. But before we play what Trey Young response was, do you think Pat Bev got a point?
No. His argument, his crowning achievement, I've been on teams with 50 wins. And what else? Like, what are we? Right message, wrong messenger.
I wouldn't even say right message.
Absolutely was the right message. I agree with him.
You agree with who?
I agree with Pat Bev.
Do tell.
I do. Pat Bev clearly acknowledged that, okay, Trey Young has done more than me, right? He clearly acknowledged, okay, I wasn't the main guy on my teams, but he's saying that via his playoff experience and his experience in the league, he can say what he's saying, which I don't think it always has to be like the absolutely quote unquote better player or the player who has the better statistics. Let's say that, because do we really even know for sure if Pat Bev is not the better player out of these two? Trey Young will not defend, has horrible shot selection, blah, blah, blah. That's a whole different thing. But anyway, I agree with what he's saying. Like, Trey Young can say, okay, I'm getting the money, I'm putting up the points, I'm getting all these assists. What is it leading to? Nada. And if what Pat Bev is saying is true when he says, I've talked to guys in Atlanta, they don't want to be there because of you, hey, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with him saying it.
The original question was about the All-Star game, right?
Yeah.
Mel, you was in the Navy.
Yes.
And
sir.
if somebody started asking questions about flying helos and landing them on aircraft carriers, I don't care what you did in the Navy. You didn't do that. So that's not a question for you. You understand what I'm saying? You can only answer questions that pertain to what you did. You didn't fly the helo. You've never flown a helo in your life. So let a pilot speak. You get what I'm saying? And
so in this case, let an all-star speak.
I think that's all that Trey Young was saying. And then
that's why I said right message. That's why I said right message, wrong messenger.
Nah, if the message is right, the message is right. The truth is the truth, no matter who
I don't
said
know, man. If somebody be like, hey, what you think about childbirth? And then I just start chiming in, and the girl come in and be like, hey, man, let us have this one, dog. Like, let us
if
answer
you're
this
an
question.
obstetrician, why can't you speak on that?
Listen. There's no,
You know what I'm
there's
saying?
nothing. If somebody asks, "Hey man, what's
If
happening
you're
in the gay
dude,
club?" I have no answer. That I can't talk about a club that I haven't been to.
You could read every book in the world, but you can't do the action.
You just don't know.
Okay.
You could read every book in the world, but if you don't go through it, you don't know it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
how can you explain the smell of kente oil and take that?
You ain't been to the Diddy party. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
Listen, guys. Listen, I had to be professional for 2 hours, guys.
Yo, oh my.
Hey, matter of fact, shout out to us. I'm proud of us for holding it together. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to us, man.
I had to be professional for 2 hours, man. All these metaphors they coming back to back. Pause.
Man, that was easy work. Man. Come on, man. That was easy work.
Now I'm only playing.
Oh man. All right.
But Trae Young response is comedy. Oh my gosh.
You said it. You went to the playoffs 9 times. I've only been to the playoffs 3. You're right. You have 6 more playoff appearances than me. Let's bring up some more facts. You've been to 1 conference finals. I've been to 1 conference finals. What year was that for you? Just another fact. Year 9. The year I made it was year 3. Just a fact. You want to know another one? You averaged 7 points and 2 is. I don't even know how I'm doing this.
He got up and left.
Like I'm really not even here to talk about my numbers, but here they are. Let's get into some more facts. Actually, you talk about a winner. What have you won? Tell me, what have you won? And don't respond with that like sympathy. I won in life. I won in basketball, because you did, man. You made it to the NBA. There's very few many people that can say that. But at the same time, bro, it's levels to this shit. It's just different timetables. I get it. You're a little bit later into your career. I was 19, about to be 20, going into my rookie season. Do you want to know your age going into your rookie season? You were 24, your first year in the NBA. So you're talking about uncomfortable. Man, you don't know what uncomfortable is. You talk about winning and impact winning and all these things. You've been on some teams with some big-time players. How about I go through a list of these guys? LeBron, Giannis, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Ant-Man, Cat. And we're not even going to talk about how we celebrate play-in wins. I win play-in games on the road, and I'm ready to get to the playoffs. You win play-in games at home, and you standing on the scores table acting like it's a championship. We celebrate wins different too. But let me get back to these guys. You've had some great teammates over these years that you've only been able to make the conference finals with because your impact was that strong. One time, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Sweet Lemon Pepper Lou, and Dwight Howard. I can go on and on. Them is just the Hall of Famers.
Shout out to Trae.
All right. I stopped it there. He said a lot though.
Hey, did you see the response that I sent you?
Of Pat Beverly?
Yeah.
I did. I didn't have time to get loaded up though.
Now, so when Pat responded, when Pat responded to that, he kind of took the gloves off, was talking about his little shoulders and all that. Pat got mad, but all Pat got to do is say, "Man, who does your hair?" Like, what is going on?
Pat, but Pat really do got to sit this one out though.
Right.
He really do got to sit it out. Like, nobody asked you for that. I mean, I guess nobody asked Trae to chime in either, but here's a non-all-star answering a question about all-stars in a negative way. Like, if you're going to say something, like, you can speak for it if you go speak for it in a positive way, but you saying something negative, you got to really know what you're talking about to say something negative about something.
All he really had to say is, man, these guys go through the gruel of an 82-game season plus playoffs, and they're mandated to be at that All-Star game. I would understand if they took that day off. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And still speak to the point. I've never made the All-Star, so I can't speak for him. But in my opinion, even if he'd have said what he said then,
that would have worked better. Agreed.
Yeah,
agreed. Yeah. Because I was going to ask, like, are they the first All-Stars that went through the grind of an 82-game season and still had to go play the All-Star?
No, of course not. No. Pat Beverly ain't saying nothing wrong. They need to do better in the All-Star game for sure. But The rules of the game is when somebody played a big joker, you have to respect it. You can't play the ace and then I drop the big joker and you start arguing with me on how the ace should win. The big joker was shut up, you're not an all-star. Let us talk about that. That's the big joker. You got to respect the big joker.
Move on to the next hand. Move on to the next hand.
Like right now, if I start yapping my mouth and Tracy Murray would have said, "Hey, let me speak for that." That's the big joker. All right, I want to keep talking, but I gotta respect the game. You just played the big joker, and out of respect for most people that hasn't played on that level, especially when you on a panel or like ESPN or something like that. They try not to do that. Ryan Clark just made that mistake last week and had to apologize. You don't play the big joker because it's unfair.
And Ryan Clark wasn't wrong.
He wasn't wrong, but he played the big joker, and it was unfair in public for your colleague like that, man.
That's a whole different topic. I'm gonna leave that be. I don't like that.
Brittany.
I don't know. I mean, that's just for me, that's just today's athletes, right? They just feel like they could say whatever they want, however they want with the new media is what they call it with the athletes, regardless of their level. I mean, like you guys say, he didn't say anything wrong. It's just Trae Young took offense to it and whatnot. But he
didn't even really take offense to it. He tweeted him back. He tweeted, was like, "Hey man, sit this one out, big fella."
Then you don't need to say anything. You don't say anything. We'll just let him talk. Let him look crazy. Just don't need to say anything. So something bothered him, right? So, but I'm not saying I
think he kind of responded in a joking manner, almost like tongue in cheek, and then Pat Beverly took offense to that, and then here we are.
I don't think he responded in no joking manner. Because Trae Young doesn't respond to anything normally. Like he never responds to anything. And I think
he's the game winner.
So, but I'm just saying, like, he doesn't never respond to anything. And Pat Bev, he's known to go out there and talk about everybody. So, I mean, like you say, what he said wasn't wrong. But I will say this: there is more pressure when you're the star of the team versus the role player of the team. So I think that's what Pat Bev needs to be a little bit more mindful of. Like there's more pressure on a Trae Young than there is you. The pressure is being taken off of a Pat Bev. You got a role, come in, play defense. That is mainly your role. Once in a while, shoot the three if you wide open, right? Because that's his thing. So, but most of the time, the pressure's off of you. You just play with the other stars. So I'm kind of torn in this situation.
Yeah, I get it. George the True Hurt said, "What are y'all doing right now? Criticism and never been on the NBA floor." Well, first of all, you don't know that. Second of all, I just explained that if an NBA player came and threw the big joker down, I would have to honor that and shut up.
Right. And I've been on several NBA floors. I've just never been in the NBA game.
Right.
I've been on several floors.
Right. So check this out, Mel. Comments like this, right? While people have the right to say what they want to say. That stuff irks me. As someone who has covered professional sports, this nonsense of you didn't play so you don't know what you're talking about, that has to stop, right? Because we have heard people who are professional athletes, and when they try to talk, you like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what are you, from Mars? Like, they don't know what they're talking about. They can physically get out there and do it, but there's a lot of pro athletes who have no idea what they're saying when they get out here. So people kind of got to stop with this. You didn't play, so you don't have a right to talk, or you didn't play, so you don't know what you're talking about. That's absurd, because there's a lot of people that didn't play on that level that know what they're talking about. You know what I mean?
I don't pay
I'm not on Food Network, but I know how to cook.
We can't.
There you go.
Pay attention to those people, because half of these people got jobs and they don't know how to do their job right. So,
well, here's the thing, right? I think by and large, I may agree with you. I think it's situational. If someone is trying to make a point about like the culture in the locker room or the culture in, like, there's intimate details that you have to be there to know about. As far as can somebody guard? Can somebody throw against a cover 2 defense? Nah, anybody with eyes can see that, whether or not how they perform against a cover 2. You get what I'm saying? So there's some details that anybody who is a student of the game or whatever game it is can definitely answer to. But there's some things that are maybe a little more intimate, or and when Ryan Clark was speaking to it, his point of as a former player, he's talking about mindset of something that Adam Schefter kind of misspoke about. You get what I'm saying? So I think that sometimes it's needed to prove a point beyond X's and O's.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Speaking to that point where Brittany had called Pat Bev crazy, it's funny because Kevin Durant actually responded.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Kevin Durant did.
Kevin Durant said that Pat got to chill because he out here sounding delusional.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and he said, man, like this is getting out of control. Like, all right, man, enough is enough, man. Like everybody clout chasing now, man. Come on, dog. Enough is enough, man. You Pat Bev telling Trae Young that he can't talk to him. Come on, Pat Bev, man.
Yeah,
I mean, this thing right here, has become a better weapon than your handle package, than your layup package, than anything.
I do not like the way you just did your fingers around it like that, though. I do not like it, dog.
We're talking about like Pat Bev. Okay, if KD joins in and somebody, Pat Bev's not going to shut up. Like he's just not going to shut up. So
true. It's not him.
Just
let Chicago winning.
And it's going to die off eventually. That's just who he is. So the more food you give him, the more you feed him, he's going to keep going. So just leave it alone. You want him then leave it alone.
Pat Bev embodies the bottom of the shoe part of Chicago. That's what I get from Pat. Pat Bev is just like that aggravating dude that wears black Air Forces tied all the way up too tight like Skip Bayless and goes plays at the YMCA like it's the finals. That's the energy I get from Pat Bev, man.
Well, you know what though? Remember what Tracy Murray was just saying. There's a lot of dudes in the league that can cook, but for different reasons they don't get the opportunity. If I'm not mistaken, didn't Pat Bev average like 35 in high school in Chicago?
Oh yeah, he could go in high school. A lot of people though. He was up there.
Yeah,
and again, I don't think that if Pat Bev and Trae Young play 1-on-1, I'm not so sure who would win in their prime.
Exactly.
Trae Young.
Exactly. Nah, man.
I don't know.
Dude, what do you call Trae Young's haircut? What do you call his haircut?
Hold on. First off, to define to have this 1-on-1, we have to define just what the hell is Pat Bev's prime.
High school, we just said it.
Wow.
High school was his prime.
I will say this though.
I'm just playing Pat Bev, man. I respect your game, man. Yeah.
I will say this though.
A little more physical than the NBA.
To whatever powers it be, please do not let Pat Bev and Draymond end up on the same show.
Oh my goodness.
We can't take that.
I love what Pat Bev did on Gil's Arena when he came in there and gave all the smoke that Rashad McCants could handle. Oh my god. Have y'all not seen that episode?
No.
Oh,
I got you.
Are you serious? I thought I did a reaction to it. Please go watch Pat Bev and Rashad McCants go with it. I think that episode probably got Gil's Arena probably another 50,000 subs. I mean, it was unreal.
What was he talking about?
Oh my god, bro.
Everything.
So Pat Bev and Rashad McCants had something going back and forth, just like Trae Young do right now. And Gilbert Arenas instigated him and Kenya Martin and Brandon Jennings. They instigated. Instigated, and then they're in the middle of a show one day, and the doorbell rung, boom, boom, and Gil was like, "Who is that?" And that was Pat Bev, and Pat Bev came in, and I don't think Rashad McCants knew Pat Bev was coming. I said, "Gil, you a dirty dog, man." And Pat Bev came in there, man, and he sat down, was like, "What's up?" And when they started going at it, and Pat Bev was bringing the receipts out, talking about, "Dude, you got a tryout." Somebody from your Carolina organization told you that you come here, you're making the team. They brought me in. They brought me in to work out against you. Not, and I end up making the team, and you didn't. And that was your Carolina connect that was there. I made you quit the workout. He going off. Rashad McCants, I didn't quit the workout. I got hurt. Okay, why did you get hurt? I mean, they just it was bro, it was ugly. It was ugly. He put him in a body bag, man. And hey, please go watch it. That joke funny, man.
You're not gonna be able to out talk Pat Bev or out trash talk Pat Bev.
No, you're not.
Not gonna be able to do it. So
right.
And Pat Bev may not say nothing to KD, but KD's a little bit more sensitive than the rest of these guys. So just be mindful of that. Yeah. Now, playing wise, Pat Bev can't, he can't say anything playing wise, but he's gonna come up with something.
Yes, he is. That's crazy.
I want y'all to go watch that clip though, for real. I want y'all to watch it. But look, man, I'm gonna give y'all time back, man. I appreciate Bruce for coming over from the Format Podcast, man. We stream it over there on that channel as well. So his audience is in the comment section. So shout out to everybody from the Format, man. Y'all go give them a sub over there. And for people that's on the Format that ain't subs to Man Down Sports, make sure you do that. Subscribe to Sideline Speaks. That's Brittany's channel. She's rocking and rolling over there again. The Blitz will be on Sunday, right before the football games, man. So y'all catch us again. I might go solo tomorrow. So it's gonna be some content popping off, man. We appreciate y'all for coming through, man. Jay might even be getting Kingdom Come back and up and running, man. So all of those are in the description box, y'all. So y'all can go and check that out. And man, appreciate y'all for sticking with us, man. Sorry about the super chats. We couldn't get to them, man. The interview was just rolling on. So I would just appreciate the super chats. We'll shout y'all out for sure on the next one.
No doubt.
All right. Peace.
Appreciate all y'all.